Welcome to episode 6 of Angela Watson's Truth for Teachers. I'm your host, Angela Watson, and I'm here to speak life, encouragement, and truth into the minds and hearts of educators and get you energized for the week ahead. Today I'm going to share some thoughts on how to stop being overly critical of yourself. Welcome to the show. I want to start by thanking you for listening and encouraging you to leave a review for the show. Podcast reviews are super important. The more reviews we have, the more easily discoverable the show will be, and the more teachers will be able to reach and inspire. You can visit truthforteachers.com to learn more. So our topic for this week is how to stop being overly critical of yourself. This is a problem that a lot of teachers struggle with for a number of reasons. For one thing, teaching is an important job. When we make mistakes or we fall short, those errors have the potential to impact kids' lives in a negative way, and that is a huge burden to carry. And on top of that, many teachers are by nature perfectionists. We want things done right. We have high standards for ourselves, and we tend to get mad at ourselves when we don't meet those standards. And so we get trapped in this cycle of falling short of our expectations or other people's expectations and beating ourselves up about it. In order to understand how to break free from that cycle, it's important to understand a little bit about what I call self-talk. Every single one of us has an ongoing internal monologue or conversation that's playing in our minds. And this self-talk typically involves a running commentary on what's happening around us. Most of us identify with our self-talk, and we assume that we're repeating truth to ourselves. But the commentary is totally biased, and it's rarely accurate because self-talk is colored by our mindset. Self-talk includes lots of automatic thoughts that we have reinforced over the years by paying attention to those thoughts and attaching importance to them. The automatic thoughts just pop up without us consciously thinking them or even noticing them. When faced with a challenge, your automatic self-talk might be, "Oh, I can't do this. There's no way I'll be able to get this done." When someone provides constructive feedback to you, your self-talk might be, "Oh, she doesn't like me. She thinks I did a horrible job. I'm so bad at this." Thoughts like these might enter your mind on such a regular basis that you have no idea that they're even occurring. Your automatic self-talk is a fundamental part of how you think and feel. And in part, that's because we grant more credence to our own thoughts than to those of others. If someone else shares a crazy opinion with us, it's usually not that hard to disagree with them. We've trained ourselves to think critically about other people's ideas. But if that opinion comes from our own automatic thoughts, most of us tend not to question it. It's difficult to critique and analyze our own thoughts because our reality is shaped by the way we think. So instead of being objective, we simply accept whatever we think as truth. It's not hard to imagine what would happen to your self-esteem if someone was following you around 24 hours a day and pointing out everything that you've done wrong and why your life is never going to get any better. But that's exactly what happens to some of us. We become our own worst critics. And the issue is compounded by the fact that most of the feedback we hear about our performance on any given day comes from our own thoughts. We tell ourselves things like, "That was dumb. Why'd you do it that way? You should do it like this." Many of us say things to ourselves that we would never say to another person. We tell ourselves things like, "I'm such an idiot. I'm fat. I have no self-control. I'm so stupid. I'm a bad teacher." If you repeat that kind of self-talk, it's going to become ingrained in your thinking patterns. Self-doubting thoughts then become part of your belief system. So if you want to stop being overly critical of yourself, you have to learn to address negative thought patterns in your mind. Here's a small change that you can make in the way you think and talk about yourself, and the small change can make a big difference. Try replacing extreme language that you use with more accurate terms. A lot of times we use words like never, always, horrible, the worst, awful, impossible. These are almost always exaggerations, and they cause you to view yourself or the situation in a worse light than is really necessary. So instead, choose words that aren't so dramatic and final. Choose words like rarely instead of always, or usually. Choose it's challenging or difficult instead of impossible. Choose dislike instead of hate. If you say to yourself, I hate when I mismanage my time, I can't believe I wasted the whole afternoon again and got nothing done, that is likely to create feelings of stress. But if you change that to, I'm disappointed that I didn't use my time as well as I would have liked, but I did get some things done. The day wasn't a total waste, and I'm going to get a fresh start tomorrow. Pay attention to your word choice. If you say things like the latter, you're going to find it's very influential on how you feel and what you think later on. Rephrasing your thoughts in a way that is more rational will keep you from getting so worked up, and it will prevent your thoughts and emotions from spiraling out of control. And it will also give you a sense of control, and it will empower you to change a bad situation. If you think that something you did is really awful, you're probably going to waste a lot of time thinking about how awful it is or how awful you are, instead of expending your energy on problem solving. Repeatedly thinking about how bad things are can cause you to become convinced that you're a hopeless case. So choosing less extreme language reminds you that the situation is not impossible and you can get better. Another technique is to turn negative statements about yourself into a question and a call to action. Instead of stating your thoughts as facts, like, I always do this wrong, I never get it right, try asking yourself questions that can lead to improvement. You could think, what can I do to help myself improve in this area? Is there another approach I can try? Use your persistent and persuasive and pervasive negative thoughts as an inspiration for change. Tell yourself, wow, I just keep thinking about how hard it is for me to get the kids to pay attention during instruction. Instead of telling myself how bad I am at classroom management, what can I do to become better? Is there something I can read? Is there someone I can talk to? How can I learn new strategies? A third and final way to stop being so critical of yourself is to practice not undermining yourself in front of others. And this is especially important in a professional setting because broadcasting your flaws can damage credibility. Most of your colleagues have never actually gone into your classroom and seen you teach. The main way they determine whether you're effective or not is based on appearances. The way your class behaves in the hallway, the bulletin boards outside your door, that sort of thing, and the way that you present yourself. So there's no reason to announce loudly at a staff meeting, I can't control these kids, they just don't listen to me. Or to tell everyone, I'm so disorganized, I can't find the paperwork I was supposed to turn in. Speaking negatively about your faults causes others to see your flaws more clearly, and it predisposes people to view you in a negative light. More importantly, you should avoid talking bad about yourself because it poisons your own mind with negativity. Anytime you hear criticism from others or from yourself, it has the potential to be extremely disheartening, and it leads to more negative thoughts and feelings. You can't control whether someone else talks badly about you, but you can certainly avoid speaking disapprovingly about yourself. Ultimately, the goal is to accept yourself without any kind of stipulations, simply because you're you. Don't make yourself earn self-acceptance. Don't base your opinion of yourself on how you act or on what you accomplish. Your confidence can't be derived from your character or what you've done. That's a recipe for frustration because you won't always behave and achieve the way that you want. You can't be the person or the teacher that you'd like to be 100% of the time. And if your self-image is based on your actions, then those times when you fall short are going to cause you to feel badly about who you are. So instead, you can retrain your mind to love and accept yourself unconditionally, no matter how you act. Joyce Meyer calls this learning to separate your who from your do. I'd like to leave you with a motivational quote for the week ahead that I call the takeaway truth. But if you'd like to learn more about choosing your thoughts and letting go of self-criticism, I have a wonderful resource available for you. It's a book I wrote called Awakened: Change Your Mindset to Transform Your Teaching. And in it, I delve much deeper into this topic and share all kinds of practical strategies for developing a resilient and positive mindset for teaching. You can find the book on Amazon, or you can purchase the print copy and ebook versions through my website. Go to thecornerstoneforteachers.com and click on Books at the top of the page. The takeaway truth I want you to remember this week is from my book Awakened, and it's this. Each setback is a chance to develop character and improve your teaching practice. Growth is not just achieved through quiet reflection. Unexpected challenges, inconveniences, and failure are often the best ways to learn. So, don't beat yourself up about your shortcomings. View them as an opportunity to learn and grow and practice healthy mental habits. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic week. You can do this. And remember, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be worth it.